I'm going to go ahead and share a few things that I came across this week. Let's see here. It's always fun when we switch things up here, and there we go. Figure out normally Johan's in control of the screen sharing, so it's always fun relearning things. All right. So appreciate your patience with me today. First thing I came across, still reading through it, but a blog post that Rudy posted, I just came across it today, on why Intune remote actions are fast at first, but slow the next day. And so we get this question a lot, when Intune can seem slow sometimes. First of all, it's a shared service, but second of all, it's not quite clear always when things are happening in the background. And Rudy does a great job, as always, deep diving why that happens on day one and then after devices have been enrolled. Part of that is because Intune Intune enrolled devices sync a whole bunch, basically, that first 8 hours after they've been enrolled. And that's to make sure that things continue to come down. BitLocker recovery keys get escrowed to the device object, and other things like that happen. Applications come down. And then there's some different schedules that happen after that first 8 hours. So I don't want to spoil all of Rudy's blog post here. Definitely recommend checking it out and reading through this. In addition to this, reminded me of a video that Johan and I have talked about a few times here on Office Hours over the last 5 or 6 months. Was one of our favorites from the Intune technical takeoff earlier this year, back at the beginning of March. There was a video about the Intune fast lane, is what they titled it, and it was around latency and when things happen. So both of this video and Rudy's post, fantastic resources just to help you understand what's going on the client. Because it can be complicated and sometimes it's a little confusing. There are times where I would expect something to happen a little bit quicker than it did, or the opposite is also true. So definitely recommend keeping these in your toolbox. Now, also came across, I don't recall if we shared this last week, but John Towles started posting on a migration guide from Workspace ONE to Intune. And John spent a lot of time over on that side, dealing with Workspace ONE, working with VMware. And now for the last year or two, John's been focusing on Microsoft Intune. So very cool to see him start to post about this. It looks like this is probably going to be sort of like a series. So this was his introduction to it last week. And then I just happened to notice earlier today, well, I noticed today, but it looks like he posted it 2 days ago, or at least wrote it 2 days ago, that there's a follow-up to this. And yep, it looks like right there, 3-part series. So basically comparing Workspace ONE and Intune. So if you are using Workspace ONE today, you're starting to check this process out. If you're going through the migration, or you're interested in seeing what that might be, or interested in heading towards Intune, recommend popping over to John's blog here and reading through those posts. Also wanted to thank Nathan McNulty here for the reminder. On September 15th, Microsoft is going to start enforcing mandatory MFA for Azure CLI, Azure PowerShell, the mobile app, and additional tools as well. And Nathan put together a conditional access template that you can import into your tenant, and that's going to help you report on what or who, I should say, are actually trying to connect to these applications, so you can see who's going to be affected by this. So thank you, Nathan, for the reminder here, as well as putting together this conditional access template. Now, last but not least, I see there's already a little bit of conversation about it here in the chat, but I wanted to call out Mike O'Leary's blog post here. He had been sort of teasing this for the last week or so, so I was really excited to see this come out. And basically, it was just a lock screen that Mike's put together to help his users and his techs give some visual indication that devices, especially ones that are going through co-management, are still waiting to enroll into Intune and Entra. With a scheduled task here, you can see sort of the high level what happens before the device is joined to Entra and before it is enrolled into Intune. You'll see that these two icons are not colorful yet, indicating that we're still waiting. And then you can see sort of the devices go through the status here, and eventually the original lock screen is replaced, indicating all done, go ahead and use the computer. So just an absolutely awesome use case here, Mike. Thanks for putting this together. This popped up to the top of my priority list to try out here in my lab over the next couple of days. So fantastic stuff here. I see Zach is pretty excited about it here in the chat as well. Those were the primary things that I wanted to share today. Really some great stuff happening as always in the community. But yeah, looking forward to trying these things out.